Hey y'all, welcome to First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsay Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
And we are still on our teamwork series. So join us.
Listen up.
Let's go. We're talking about teamwork. Last episode 2, we're on episode 3 right now. Last episode, we were talking about what the most important aspect of teamwork is for us in this marriage, and that is communication.
Yes.
We went through all things communication, kind of did an exercise, gave some tools of effective communication. And this episode, what is the next step in teamwork?
So part 2 is going to be know your role, understand your assignment. Like what is it called? I understand the assignment. Yeah. So when it comes to us knowing where we are, I think we talked about gender roles our first season.
Yeah.
Our first season was about gender roles, but this isn't necessarily about gender roles, even though that does have a part in our marriage with our teamwork. But everybody in our team dynamic has a part to play.
Right.
So I always bring stuff to basketball because that's the sport I love the most. And it has some of the most famous players. But you have the Kobe Bryant, right? But then you'll also have the Shaquille O'Neal. And then you'll also have the Derek Fisher. And then you'll have the Robert Ory. Everybody plays their part. And sometimes it is that person's time to shine, right? Sometimes, fourth quarter, 5 seconds left, you give the ball to Kobe. And Shaq knows that, even though Shaq is a dominant player. But that's their time, and everybody has to play their roles. And that's helping us have a successful team dynamic, is because I don't try to overstep. You don't try to overstep. If everybody just stay in your lane, right? Everybody stays in their lane and does the thing they're supposed to do. There's a lot of different sayings about stuff like this that all correlate to knowing your role. Like when there's a lot of women in the house, they say it's too many queens in the castle.
Yes.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yes.
Stuff like that. And it has to do with knowing who's the leader, who's the person who's going to be doing this, who's the grunt work. Like even with this podcast, like I do the editing, you do the Instagram, you do the videography. Like it's we both come up with the ideas for the reels and stuff for Instagram and stuff like that. But if one day you wanted to edit, and sometimes we go, actually, true story, we go through this a lot when we're filming reels, because I went to school for film, and so I am very particular about transitions, how things look, how things are shot. Lindsay likes Instagram, and she's like, it doesn't matter. So insight, if anybody wants to do these kind of reels, it's really cool. People do it a lot. They go and they put their hand on the camera real quick, and then they change clothes, or they do something like that. And it looks seamless because the camera doesn't move. It's a really easy transition. You do something, you jump up and down or whatever. The camera doesn't have to move. As long as the camera doesn't move, you'll be good. If it's the same shot. Or if you want to be technical, you are the same distance from the camera that you are. So you could be in a different place, but it has to be the same height and distance from where you originally shot. Anyways, Lindsay sometimes is kind of nonchalant about that, and I am not nonchalant about it. And so we have to decide who is in charge of the reel on certain reels. And that way we don't bump heads, because we're both trying to, like we said last episode, we want the same thing. We want a good reel, but it's how we get to it. So sometimes I have to fall back, and sometimes she has to fall back, because I want it a certain way, but it's my reel. So that is the most important, knowing your part. So baby, the question for you is, what happens when you are not comfortable in your role? how do you get comfortable in your role, or how do you buy in? How do you buy in into the team dynamic? And this is good stuff. I'm gonna put it in more like relatable terms.
Okay.
So when you became a wife, it was a new role that you never did before, right? So you might be excited about the role, but also you don't know what you're doing. I'm not saying like uncomfortable, like you don't want it, but it's uncomfortable because it's new and you have to learn it, and there's going to be growing pains with it. And then you became a mother of two, and then there's more growing pains and more. So how do you adjust? And with that, like even with fatherhood, from husband to husband father, those are two different things. And buying into it, I just want to know, how do you buy into the role that you are assigned, pre-assigned?
Right.
Because you might want to be something else, like people who, for instance, some people have children and they have enough money to have nannies and never be around their children. So say if Lindsay wanted to dance on Lion King all the time, just focus on her career, she could technically give birth, be the mother, and then have nannies all the time and still focus on work. But your role right now is a dual role of worker and mother, right? And so I just want to know, how do you navigate it? How do you navigate that role? That's what I meant.
First things first, when you're entering into a role that's new, I start with grace. I'm going to give myself the grace of understanding that this is new. I've talked about this before because I have often felt a lot of pressure, and the pressure is put on me by me, but it's still pressure to succeed in excellence, right? This is something that, especially in the Black culture, we're like, do everything with excellence. We're going to be excellent at everything. We are excellent at everything, and I am excellent, but I also grow to excellence. And so to me, when I was stepping into the role of wife, like we talked about, our first year, my communication was rough. It was rough, and I didn't know how to do it. We had been together for years, but I didn't know how to properly communicate so that it was best for him. The respect was there so that it was best for me, so that he understood what I needed. It wasn't, I'll use the word again, effective. It was doing what it was doing, but it wasn't effective. So first, I'm gonna start with grace and understanding that I'm learning. Okay, I'm learning, and so it's gonna be uncomfortable, and I'm gonna make mistakes. Second, I'm gonna say, okay, this is my role, and so I'm a person where when I do things with confidence, it's 100% better. So I am confident. When I first had Action, we had about 2 months of both of our moms helping us with Action. New parents.
Shout out to the moms.
Shout out to moms.
Nana and
okay. We're new. We are in New York all by ourselves, no family. The friends that we have work the same jobs that we have usually. And so it's hard to get them to help because when we're at work, they're at work too, sort of thing. And so I remember the first time I was alone with Action, I was nervous. I was scared. He was little. And it was like, oh my gosh, I'm his mom and he is dependent on me. And it clicked in for me. I mean, this is a part of my craft as an artist, but it clicked in. I'm going to be confident. I'm the best at this. I am the best mom he could ever have. And so just with that confidence in this role that I have, it helped calm any nerves that I had. And it helped me to go forward in excellence.
That's dope. That's dope. I'll take it.
Thank you. So that's how I operate. I operate in that fashion. And so sometimes I step into new roles that maybe I'm uncomfortable, but like I said, because I'm able to understand, like, okay, let me take a breath and then let me do this. Let me do this. I can do this. And words are power. So speak it.
Yeah. To piggyback off of that, I know a lot of people who haven't been in a relationship, like, at all. Like, they they dated around, but they haven't been in a real relationship where they're considering marriage. And then when they become a boyfriend or they become a girlfriend for the first time, it is a new role. And understanding that role, one thing that I always do in understanding my role and whatever it is understanding the goal first. And knowing that this thing is needed, what I'm doing is needed for the success of the goal. If I feel like I'm not relevant or this is meaningless, is purposeless, then I probably won't do it in excellence because I feel like it's irrelevant. And that's how I'm wired. I need the why. And so my why is whatever it may be. For the marriage, is like whatever I deem a successful marriage. And for me, a successful marriage is my wife is happy. Her needs are supplied. Her mental health is good. She doesn't feel restricted. Like she has her freedom.
All that.
Yeah.
Those are all individual gems that I'ma just write those down. That is successful. Yes, you are.
So that's like a successful thing for me being a husband. So with that, I make sure that I am more patient with her when it comes to, I don't know, certain things, or if she needs to work out more or work out less, or she needs to relax more or be busy, I have to be flexible and stuff like that. And knowing that role, because and not being her like dictator type of thing, and because I understand what I'm going for, what is my why. I hear that a lot when I'm doing like leadership things and I'm doing things, because when it gets tough, I have to go back to why I'm doing it. And why am I in this role? Why am I a father? Because truthfully, in this harsh reality, anybody could get out. I mean, you can run away. You can run away, and you could get out of that relationship. There's divorce. There's all these ways of getting out, and sometimes it's the best way. The best thing is to get out. Like, if it's abusive and it's detrimental to like your physical health, stuff like that. But what else? I know I said it 5 times. Know your why. Know my goal, and that's how I end up being comfortable in that, whatever that is, in that role, your why is knowing my why.
That's great.
This is the Am I Wrong segment, and this isn't really a Am I Wrong. This is just like a let's tell you guys what we're doing as a married couple. So Lindsay and I are both turning a certain age this year. I don't know if she wants me to say her age.
Because I'm fine and beautiful.
Okay, so we're both turning 35 this year. Her birthday is a month before mine.
I didn't say you had to say all that.
Oh, she's a month older than me. And so we're having a competition. And this is for you to place your bets. This is just a Am I Wrong to place your bets. Who you think is gonna win? So, do you want to talk about the competition?
Yeah. Okay. And let me first start with, he made up this competition. This is a challenge. He made up this challenge. He said, let's challenge ourselves. Who looks better at 35? For their 35th birthday, we're going to take pictures.
Yep, professional photo shoot,
and see who looks better. This isn't who has
the best transformation.
No. This is just simply who looks better. So y'all, you already know.
No, don't try to do all that. I just want to, and when I'm talking about better, I'm like clear skin. You know what I'm talking about?
He does get me on the skin sometimes.
So
but
I'm talking all that.
For real, it's gonna be me.
And I could do things with my facial hair. I could do different things. She got locks. All she could do was like twist them up, untwist them, do some braids. I'm about to do it big.
I'm about to kill this photo shoot. So yes, you want y'all to know. He said you want to place bets on who you think is gonna look better.
Yeah, who you think will look
Cast
better.
Cast him over here, y'all.
And it's easier for me to look better. It's
easier for him to make a transition. Looks good. But that's a transition. That's what I'm talking about. Who looks better, period? It's going to be me.
Okay.
My photo shoot is about to kill him.
Okay. We'll see. So I want y'all to call in or leave a DM on the Instagram.
You could DM us on Instagram. First Comes Love TCM, and all you have to do is write Lindsay. Period. Okay, that's all you got to do.
You could call the voicemail at 347 True Love. That's 347-878-5683. If you just want to call and give me some encouragement and say, hey, Aaron, you could do this. I know, we got you.
He's going to look good, but he's not going to look better. Or you can email us at letstalk@firstcomeslove.thenComesMarriage.com. Also, though, just want to say, I want to tell them when our birthdays are.
Okay.
My birthday's in May.
And my birthday's in June.
So you have until then for the reveal. But let us know, because it's going to be me. Welcome back. We are still talking about teamwork.
Yep.
And right now we're talking about understanding the assignment. So in understanding the assignment in this marriage, we touched on this a little bit in season 1, but let's talk about roles. Let's talk about the roles that you play, that I play. What are your expectations?
Okay. So let's do a couple of my roles that I do a lot of the, it's not like gender roles, but I do a lot of like the fixing and the physical stuff. If something's broken down in the house, mechanical stuff. That's something that helps out figuring out, like, I'm more big picture stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we need to move into a house, who finds the apartment? Me, right? But then decorating all that, the little stuff is you, right?
That's not little.
I'm sorry. I did not want to belittle it.
Their room is major.
No. I mean the detail, the intricacies is you. Sorry for saying the little stuff. No, it's not little stuff. So the intricacies. So I'm more of the big picture person. I'm like and when it comes to finances, I'm more of the big picture finances guy. Like, okay, we need to save up this much money. You are the bills. You do the bills and the finances and stuff like that. We both do a budget and we budget together. But so I would say what my role is, one, I'm the leader of the family.
Period.
So
we talk about, we said this before, not to cut you off.
Okay.
But the thing is like, we asked the question, do you still believe in gender roles? We put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it came back more yeses than no, but barely, like a 56%. And especially in this world today where it's kind of like fluid, you know what I mean? In our relationship, we do have that as a guide, if you will, as a guide to our teamwork. Now, this isn't to say that he wears the pants. You know, he has on pants right now, but this isn't to say like, okay, he wears the pants to the house, and it's so crazy because growing up, you know, different generations growing up, my dad was the only person that could get the door. That was the gender role. He answered the door, and that was a role. Like, to think about that, I'm like, that's so crazy. Why he gotta answer the door?
Because it could be somebody trying to kill and rape and do all this crazy stuff.
That's just crazy you know what I mean? Like, women couldn't defend ourselves, or you know. But and I get it because the man is the protector, but that's not necessarily Aaron's role. He don't got to get the door. You know what I mean? But
not if I'm naked. So you still try to do that sometimes though. Don't act like you don't.
The other day I did.
I'm like in my drawers. She's fully clothed.
No, I was also in pajamas. But I was like, "You gonna get the door?"
I was like, "What?"
But that's we have a looser version of gender roles, and one of them is that he is the head of this house. Period.
On a side note, we need to go back to telling people just a minute. Like, we be trying to open the door immediately after somebody knocked. We need to start saying just a minute. People need to understand. You knocked on the door, just a minute.
You came unannounced. Okay, we're going to get back to that because nobody calls anymore.
No.
That don't make no sense.
And we got a door buzzer. We got a buzzer, and we still be shocked when people talk.
We got security downstairs. Let us know you coming.
Okay.
But, okay.
Sorry.
So yes, the roles.
Yeah. So my role, first and foremost, that was given to me was, I mean, you have to authorize it. If I can't be a leader without you saying that you're going to follow.
Yes.
And my idea of leadership is almost, when I used to think of the leader as the person on the top, but truthfully I reversed that. And so I'm the strong one. I'm on the bottom and I'm uplifting everybody else.
Come on now,
so
you see that?
my leadership is a reverse, reverse.
Hierarchy.
Yeah. So since I am the strong one, I lift, like God lifts me up, I lift my wife, and so forth. And then she lifts the children and everything, and so forth and so on. And so I always, and so I'm stuttering a lot. Lindsay is about to get her master's in May. And what are you getting your master's
Let
in?
me say my second master's.
Okay.
To be more
Lindsay's
clear.
getting her second master's because she's amazing. She's a superhero. What are you getting your second master's in?
Human resources and organizational leadership.
Organizational leadership. And one of the things in her organizational leadership class was servant leaders.
I was just about to say that. Servant leadership.
Yeah. And that's how I feel like I am, right?
Yes.
I am very, it's not like a dictatorship. Even at my job, if you ever see me, come to Tavern on Green, if you're ever in New York, come to Central Park, come to Tavern on Green, you will see me behind the bar making drinks. You'll see me bussing tables. You'll see me taking orders. You'll see me doing anything and everything because I feel like, one, I'm a wild card. I can do everything. In this marriage, I can do everything. I can change the diaper. I can take out the trash. I could wash dishes. I could wash the walls. I could build the bed. I could do it all.
Better.
Right? The only thing I can't do is
Nurse
deliver the child. Yeah.
But
But I can cook for the baby.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
can.
So I can feed the baby.
I was about to say
him.
that. Yo, come on. Last night I realized because I'm putting away the kitchen and cleaning up after I pumped. But I said, you know what my husband does? He makes our 7-month-old food. He literally steams it, cooks it, puts it in the Vitamix, freezes it, stores it, labels it, and he's doing his part. We want to talk about understanding the assignment. I am pumping all the time, pumping and feeding and nursing all the time.
And how do you feel about pumping, by the way?
Pumping is hard.
Okay.
My nipples are sore at this point, but I am pushing through because I got a goal. But in that, because he knows this, he says, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to step into this role, and I'm also going to feed this child organic, healthy, homemade food. So teamwork.
Yeah, is part of teamwork, and your role, because we're married, I wouldn't see it like your role is more of as a co-captain than a subordinate. You know what I mean?
Never. I wouldn't even use that word.
Yeah, not subordinate, but because we're right there. I mean, Ty goes to me sometimes. Ty go to you sometimes. It depends. They usually go to you.
Let me tell you. Let me speak for myself.
Oh,
how about that? Earlier, Aaron spoke about a basketball team and the stars in the team, but I would say, especially because I know that team, when you were saying Kobe and Shaq and Derek Fisher, it's like, okay, you might say Kobe and Shaq were the leaders, but I think they were all leaders. They were all the stars. They were all the starters.
Yeah, they were all starters.
Okay. And so they all had a role. And so when I think about that, when I think about our marriage, I think of this team. I know that you're the leader and I'm also a leader.
Yeah.
Period. And so my role is super important because I am there to support this leader. And if I'm not here, he doesn't have a team. So it's hand in hand. And I mean, of course I can go into the many roles that I do. And would I say that they most have to do with like the traditional gender roles? No.
I mean, because truthfully, for the first couple of years of our marriage, we were actually until like last year.
Yeah.
We were fully reliant on your income.
Yeah.
Like completely reliant on your income. Even though I was like making money, it was just like we saved my money for anything like vacations and stuff, but your money was like how we eat and how we are
Live.
clothed, and you were the provider when it came to that. And so, and also like you cook breakfast, but you don't cook unless it's Thanksgiving. So yeah, I mean I cook, and we don't eat the same. Also, I think that might be a problem too. But never mind.
Yeah, but
It's
I
like,
think
what
that
else do women do? Like women are traditional women roles is supposed to. What are you supposed to do? Like just
cook and clean,
not talk and
keep house. But I think that our roles are established because of the things that we need, because of the goals that we have, because of the purposes that we have for our family. And so, like we said previously in like the first episode, we start off the year setting our goals. And I know people don't like, I just heard this, right? People don't like the word resolution.
They don't.
They really like, when I say it, it's like saying Beetlejuice or Macbeth or I don't know, something that people
Voldemort.
cringe. Yeah, something. They really like, it's like, oh, I don't do resolutions. You know, it's a whole thing. And there's a hashtag no resolutions, which I'm like, I don't mind it. I think it's good to set new goals, to set new sights. And if you fall, you pick them back up. And if you don't do it, you start over as many times as you need to. And so same thing with us, with our goals. Our roles are based off of our goals that we have. And so my role as support of this household, I step into whatever role I might need. When I was pregnant and on maternity leave from work, I said, you know what? I am still helpful. I still want to step into that role. So I got another job. Retail had nothing to do with using my body because I couldn't. I needed to be stable for my mind and my body. And so, but I said, you know what, I can do this. I'm gonna get a customer service job and I'm gonna get it done. And so it's the same thing with Aaron. He does this time and time again. He had to say, make a decision. Do I want to pay someone to watch my kids and give away all of my income and go to work? Or do I want to be home with my son? And he said, I want to be home. Paternity leave, and went forward with it. So he stepped into a new role as, what would you call that role?
I mean, it was a father. A new role as a father.
A new role as a father.
Yeah, but it was that was a very hard transition to piggyback on, like way back when I was like going into a new role that you're uncomfortable with and finding my why. It's like, why did I want to do this? It's because I want my son to be a healthy mentally, healthy physically. I know that, like, I know what I'm instilling into him. And that was a tough thing. And one thing I feel like with leadership and with teams, when it comes to roles, because a woman could be the leader, I feel like. I am a natural leader. And what I'm trying to say is, do what you're good at. Right? And a good coach and a good leader, they put people in the right positions to succeed. Right? Put me in a position and set me up for success. So Lindsay thrives when it comes to, like, Lindsay thrives when she has a goal set and then it's like boom, 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 steps. She's a steps person. Would I do this? Well, how do I do this? How do I do this? Break it down, and then she'll build it back up. And so that's where she thrives at. And so that's why she's better at the intricacies of the finances and the intricacies of almost like the business aspect of who are we hiring for babysitting, what days she does the scheduling for us and stuff like that, because she's good at that. She's good at the breakdown. And if she wasn't good at that, one of us will probably have to step up for it to get done, but it's setting her up for success if I'm letting her rock and I'm just supporting her in that role because that's what she's good at. So I would say when it does come to roles, if you can, I try to do what I'm good at and help the team with what I'm good at.
Thank y'all for joining us on our 3rd episode of season 3. This is part 2 of our teamwork series and talking about your roles, your assignment in your roles. So please reach out to us. Tell us what you think. DM us on Instagram, First Comes Love, TCM.
You can tell us what your assignment is in your relationship. It could be your friendship. It could be your marriage. It could be parenting. Like, let me do one more thing. So I have a couple of friends, and my assignment for some of my friends is to be the person who calls. Like, they never call me, but we still have a strong relationship because I'm the person who calls. I do have other friends who always call me. I have a friend, Jason, Young Free. He's the person who calls me. It's not like I don't like him or anything. He just calls me, and that's what he is in our role in our relationship.
Also, you can email us. Let's talk at firstcomeslove, thenComesMarriage.com. See you next Friday.